Hello, my friends. It's Andy and Hedy coming to you live from, I almost said Yorba Linda. We're from Maui, Hawaii.
Hey, everybody. This is the vacation broadcast of resurrectministry.com, where you can find all of our content. We're harnessing the power of the internet to share the gospel to every corner of the earth. Whether you are a princess walled up in a palace in Dubai or a housewife in Encino, you can meet the Lord Jesus Christ. He will meet you where you are. So we hope you enjoy the resources on the website. Please drop us a line. Let us know if it's blessed you in any way or any recommendations you may have. And if you care to partner with us, you can click the Donate Now button.
That was good.
Where am I
being on
looking?
vacation.
Am I? Oh, okay. Sorry, we got a lot of buttons over here. So
got a lot of shenanigans going on. Make sure you let us know if you can hear us okay. We're using a different setup. So that would be cool. I'll be there next month, says Iris.
Yay!
To Hawaii. Not next month as far as watching our devotional.
No, she means in Hawaii.
Okay, I just want to make sure. And did you say make sure and comment and share and let people know that you can?
No,
what
you did.
That we are amazing on the devotional.
Yeah, I don't know about all that,
with God's help.
Yeah, just like, share, subscribe. It'd be truly a blessing for us.
Yes. So far, how has your vacation been that God has given us?
Fantastic.
I'm so thankful. Here with two of our daughters.
Yes.
2 of the 3 daughters. So it's been pretty fun.
Yes, absolutely.
I do a little zip lining and some beach time.
Tomorrow we'll do snorkeling.
Tomorrow's a little bit snorkeling. So you're not going snorkeling?
I am getting on the boat.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I'm committing to.
What we're doing, I know this seems strange to you guys. It's the 26th, I believe, but we're going to be reading the 25th this morning because I thought it was really good. Did you think it was good?
I did.
Yeah. So we'll be reading yesterday's for this morning because we want to make sure and get a broadcast out there onto our podcast. And then later on this evening, we should be able to do today's devotional in our mostly normal time. All right. So that's why we're on a little bit early today because I just felt like I just wanted to read this morning.
You just want to tell that story about the mountain, your analogy.
Maybe.
Do you remember it?
No.
Oh,
I'm glad you said something because I completely forgot. I'm going to put my glasses on too because I'm using a different computer today. All right. So we're reading from Charles Spurgeon for June 25th. Again, that's yesterday, but we're reading it today. And the reference is Isaiah 49. 49. Go up on a high mountain. From the pen of Charles Spurgeon, our knowledge of Christ is somewhat like climbing a high mountain. When you are at the foot of the mountain, you actually see very little, and the mountain itself appears to be only half as high as it really is. And if confined to a little valley, you scarcely discover anything except babbling brooks as they descend to the base of the mountain. Yet as you climb the first rising knoll and look back, you see the valley lengthen and widen beneath you. Then as you continue higher, you see the surrounding countryside for 4 or 5 miles around and are delighted with the widening perspective. As you continue, the scenery enlarges until at last, when you reach the summit, you can look north, south, east, and west for many more miles. Perhaps you can see a forest 200 miles away, a shimmering river meandering through a valley, smoking chimneys of a manufacturing town, and the masts of ships in a busy seaport far below as you look in various directions. The view delights you as you declare, I could never have imagined all this could be seen from this elevation. The Christian life is much the same, for when we first believe in Christ, we see very little of him. The higher we climb, however, the more we discover his beautiful attributes. Yet who has ever reached the summit? Who has ever fully grasped how high and deep is the love of Christ and that surpasses knowledge? Still, the Apostle Paul, elderly and gray-haired and shivering in a dungeon in Rome, could say with greater conviction than we can, I know whom I believed. Each experience of this had been like climbing a hill. Each trial like ascending another summit, and is approaching death like attaining the top of a high mountain from which he could see the totality of the love and faithfulness of God, to whom he had committed his soul. Dear friend, go up on a high mountain. Dear friend, go up on a high mountain. I actually love this because you know what it reminds me of?
What?
I just remembered what it reminds me
Oh,
of.
good. I'm glad. The Lord obviously wants you to share it.
The other day, which is that yesterday? I've already lost track of time. Yeah, yesterday, right?
When we read this?
Oh, no, that was the day before yesterday. I was on a zip line with Zara and Ray.
Right.
And we got in this van down near the ocean at sea level. And at sea level, you're looking up at this mountain, but then when you turn around, all I'm looking at is a building and traffic and some restaurants. But then we get in this old rickety van, kind of like my old rickety life. Bumpy.
My whole rickety life.
Bumpy, windy,
broken,
and a lot of people, just full of nonsense I was surrounded by in that van. Shoulder to shoulder. And we're making our way up this mountain and crashing and bouncing and all that kind of stuff. And then as we get higher and higher, I'm not seeing much of a change. Yet there's a lot of discomfort as we're rattling through, both in my ears and in my eyes and in my body.
Yes.
And it looks kind of like a desert, even here in Maui. But then, as I start to get closer and closer to the mountaintop, it begins to get green. It gets lovely. We can see green flowers of red and yellow and animals even scurrying about. And it's got a little peaceful. Aww. And then as we reached the top and got out of the van, turn around and now see the ocean, the same building, but now it's tiny. I don't see any of the darkness or the
Dirt,
brown plants and that kind of stuff. It's all now lush, green, beautiful view, which has reminded me of that view from, reminds me of that view from, hold on, I got to find us because I can't see us. Where'd we go? There we are. Just making sure we're still on. It reminds me of my life. The beginning was, there was a lot of people around.
Right.
A lot of jocularity, a lot of joking, a lot of fun, a lot of nonsense. It was fun then. But then my life is so much better on the mountain because it's beautiful and it's amazing. And I can see more of God's amazing grace and his miracles of the ocean, of the island itself.
How
and
lovely.
It was so much better. Sorry, in the middle there, we lost the view. But I thought that was awesome. As I was reading that, that's all I kept thinking about was that whole journey, which was long and windy and bumpy. And
that's
then
so cool.
Smoothed out. Even the zip line was beautiful. Watching everybody laugh and enjoying themselves and kind of free flying through the air.
Yeah.
Kind of like when we go up to see Jesus.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So you want to answer the comments first, or do you want me to get my?
I want to hear yours. I've been waiting 2 days to hear yours.
So mine was a little bit of the opposite of the way Spurgeon describes this, and the way that you describe it too, is that mine, I feel like when I met Jesus, he took me to the mountaintop. He showed me how vast and amazing and beautiful his kingdom is. And I was just like, whoa, this is amazing. And then he's like, okay, daughter, now I got to drop you off back at the bottom of the hill.
You got to go back?
Well, he showed me what I was going to.
Oh, okay.
He took me to the end first.
Mm-hmm.
He took me to the end and said, okay, now I need you to climb the mountain yourself. So he took me to the bottom to the base of the mountain to get back. But he had to show me a vision of where I was going, or I'd never get back up on that mountain. So he had to basically tease me with this is where you're going, and then drop me back at the bottom of the mountain. And then every time I'm going through the mountain, or in every journey, there are valleys, and you feel like you're climbing the mountain and you've gone so far up that you can't go back down, but you haven't gone far enough that but you're scared to even go further up. Mm-hmm. So you kind of get stuck. But then you hit a plateau, and then there's a river and there's streams and there's beautiful flowers. You're like, oh, this is amazing. Mm-hmm. And then it gives you the energy, kind of like what we did. So we did the road to Hannah yesterday. and it was windy. It was a total of 620 turns. So we were all ready to vomit, except for Andy. All of us girls are like, ugh. And so, but every time we stopped, it was like, okay, this is really beautiful. Okay, I'm catching my breath. I think I can keep going. And then you get back in the car. So I feel it's very similar to that, is that he shows me his beauty and his majesty along the road. And then I remember, I have the memory of where I'm going, and I continue on.
Wow. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought mine was good.
Yeah, no,
That was amazing.
it's there. And isn't it amazing how different they are? Everybody's walk is so different.
And I still think a little bit about how in my life and that the lower levels, at sea level,
Yes.
because we were having a good time and it seemed perfectly fine.
Right.
And I think they got shaved ice. I couldn't have shaved ice. Normally in my old life, I would have had the shaved ice with beer, the shaved ice. And it seems like it's okay. It seems like wow, this is pretty nice. I'm spending time with my daughters. We are, enjoying some desserts.
Right.
And the buildings don't seem that bad. It seems okay.
Isn't that interesting how your perceptions are heightened too?
Yep.
In the moments of clarity and sobriety.
Right.
You kind of notice everything.
And then even in that van going back where we had to go was behind a bunch of homes that are all falling apart, and there's cars that their doors are torn off, and there's all kinds of trash inside the cars now because they're just, I don't know, they're dumpsters, I guess. But as we're driving by, I didn't give it that much thought. Just like, this is normal. This is normal for this area. But it wasn't until you got to the mountaintop and saw God's grace and love and beauty that you go, oh, that was really kind of ugly down there. I got kind of used to the ugly.
You got kind of used to the ugly, the sludge. You're like a pig slopping in mud. You're like, well, this is kind of good. And then you get out and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We actually, speaking of, we were in the mountains in Hannah, and there was this really like elegant looking Chihuahua, the kind that belongs in like Paris Hilton's handbag. And he was standing in the dirt in the middle of nowhere in Hawaii. And I was making a funny voice saying that this Chihuahua was probably saying to himself, how did I end up here? I should be in some Louis Vuitton handbag in Beverly Hills, and I'm in this pile of dirt. And so it's very similar to that, right? Is the sense that, oh my God, I didn't realize where I should be until I got to where I should be.
Probably better, awesome. In a nice backyard in Beverly Hills with a pool.
I'm telling you, with a little diamond necklace.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, this Chihuahua did not belong in the muddy mountains of Hannah, Hawaii.
With a basset hound as a butler.
Yes. Go get me my cheese.
All right, let's hear what the scripture has to say. We'll go to scripture first, and we have Isaiah 49.
You don't want to answer some of these comments.
Oh, I didn't know we had anybody on.
We've got tons of people.
I'm not paying attention to those people.
Yes. So Cindy just said hi, that she's not going to be able to join us. Yes, it's 2:00, middle of the day.
Yep.
But we're saying hi to Cindy anyways.
Yep.
And Iris says, aloha. Aloha. Mahalo.
Kamsahamnida. And
Iris is going to be here next month. Actually, this is apparently a big OC hangout because a lot of people we know are here. Yes. And Carrie's saying hi. Hi, Carrie. You want to add to that?
Oh, I was going to say that we've heard that there's some Eldo people here.
Yes.
Which is funny.
Absolutely. And
Eldo being El Dorado High School in our school district. Sorry for those of you that are in Australia. Don't know what Eldo is.
Right. And your friends on Facebook, there's some friends of yours that are here.
Yeah.
And Carrie says we look relaxed.
Oh
no! Do we usually look really uptight?
You don't. I often look.
Oh, right. Of course. No zip line. Okay, so I'm going to share my theory of vacation as well, because I think this is really important. And since this is our first family vacation, we are trying to respect each other's
family.
We a small dose, because we had to take a small dose. If we took the entire family, Hedia would have to slit her throat. So we took a small dose of the family and decided that you have to learn each other's rhythms. Because when you're vacationing, every family has its own rhythm. Okay. Miramatis. extremely lazy travelers.
Mm.
We like to wake up late. We like to sleep late. We order.
Did I learn that lesson yesterday?
We order room service. We don't want to do a lot of sightseeing. If we do it from a car and we look out a window. I mean, extremely lazy vacationers. The Falcos are early risers anyways, crack of dawn, like with the roosters, and they want to do 400 things in a day.
Yes.
So here we are negotiating these two patterns, and what I told Andy is like, we all got to do ourselves, like to a certain extent, except Andy waking me up at the crack of dawn. That's unacceptable. I said, but other than that, when we're on this thing, whether it's the zip line or these, okay, look. Here's the thing. Okay, so we're going up to see.
This part of the devotional?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's important. It's important. It's part of married life, is respecting each other's space and boundaries and honoring each other without forcing each other. That's very important. Okay, so we went to see these waterfalls. And there was this I'm in flip-flops, and you're supposed to go down this hill thingy, and there's a bunch of rocks, and then you get to climb over these things to go see the waterfall. I looked at him and he said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And he's like, okay, then I won't do it either. And I said, no, this is your vacation. You climb the mountain, you go down, you have a blast. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to make new friends. We're going to talk about Jesus, and I'm going to watch from the top.
And that's what happened.
And that's what happened. Because you shouldn't force...
I thought it was a trick.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Such a typical woman trick, too, to be like, I'm not going. And then to be like, I can't believe you went without me.
You told me to go.
No, I'm not about that. I'm about everybody. I don't want you forcing me, and I'm not forcing you. And you know why? And my daughter asked me later why. I said, listen, I've done enough crazy things in my life that I had to do because somebody was forcing me, that I refuse to do them anymore. I refuse to do anything that I don't want to do unless Jesus tells me to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
like marry a man with 5 kids.
I'm not. Other than that, after that, I am not eating what I don't want to eat. I'm not working out when I don't want to. I don't want to do extreme sports if I don't want to. So there's the story behind the zip line. Wow. I'm answering the questions about the zip line.
No, that was a hideous story.
Sorry. That was it. I am not ziplining. I'm not doing anything that will injure myself and send me back home with a twisted ankle or a broken back.
Wow. Okay.
So that's it.
All right. I love that. Iris.
What town was the zip line located?
Kanapali.
Kanapali.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a little bit down.
Yes, we are in Kanapali. So it depends on what part of Maui you're in.
Yep. It was awesome. They said it was the best one. Although that was the company saying it was the best one.
Of course.
In Hawaii.
Shaka bra.
Yes. Shaka. That's why they kept repeating that on the road to Hana. And?
She says, no, you both look extremely relaxed.
So we are.
Thank you, Carrie.
And?
Hetty explains everything nicely and respectfully.
Yes.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it.
6 o'clock in the morning.
No, nothing nice comes out of me at 6 o'clock in the morning, folks. Nothing. This morning, he was gone.
Yeah, I just left.
And then by the time I woke up, I was like, where is he? I can't hear anything. I can't hear. I just texted him. I was like, where are you, Schnookums? And he's like, I'm down at Starbucks. And I was like, I
was there when it opened, 5:30.
See that?
Yep.
Iris says, see, I get it. I will be with 16 family members, kids and grandkids. First time I'm listening to all these advice.
Yes.
Oh, it's so important. Everybody's got to respect everybody else's boundaries, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody should be forcing people to do anything. Compromise and acceptance is a key to a strong marriage.
Awesome.
Thank you, Carrie.
That was a very good.
Circuitous route?
Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed that. Did we already go to Isaiah? Yes. Oh, no. Isaiah 49. Now do the scripture?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
okay, my love.
You who bring good news to Zion, go up on a mountain. You who bring good news to Jerusalem, lift up your voice with a shout. Lift it up. Do not be afraid. Say to the towns of Judah, here is your God. Mm. Amen.
You know, what's funny is that in August, I'm going to Zion.
Oh, yeah, that's the name of the city.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
In Utah.
Ephesians 3:18. may have power together with all the Lord's holy people to grasp how wide, how long, how high, and how deep is the love of Christ, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. Was that in Jim about the love that surpasses knowledge? Are we going to read that part? Because that part was awesome.
I think so. Yep.
I love the way he explains that. So we're going to read that. We're going to read
Jim, I was thinking, what book is Jim?
We're going to read what Jim Reimann has to say about this because he does an awesome job. So 2 Timothy 1:12. This is why I'm suffering as I am. Yet this is no cause for shame, because I know whom I have believed, and I am convinced that he is able to guard what I have entrusted to him until that day. And this is Paul basically saying, no matter how much I've suffered, I am not embarrassed by what I've suffered, because I know my treasure is in heaven with the Lord who preserves it.
That's great.
Which is beautiful.
All right, let's go to the book of Jim.
Let's go to the book of Jim.
Where is it? Hold on, there we go. And Jim
Indeed, our knowledge of Christ increases as we climb the mountains of life with him. Yet in this life, we will never attain complete knowledge. In fact, it seems that the more we learn, the more we realize we don't know. Paul prayed we would be able to grasp how wide and how long and high and deep is the love of Christ, and to know this love. But he continues, to know this love that surpasses knowledge. In other words, Paul prayed we will know something that is unknowable, at least in this life. The love that surpasses knowledge. As we attempt to come to terms with this thought, does it make sense in the following respect? The love of Christ is infinite, but we in our minds are finite. Perhaps we will spend an eternity discovering the depths of his infinite love. How great is God, beyond our understanding. The number of his years is past finding out. And that's from Job 36:26. And when Christ returns, however, this will change. For now I know in part. Then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. That's 1 Corinthians 13:12. O sovereign Lord, you have begun to show your servant your greatness and your strong hand. For what God is there in heaven and on earth who can do the deeds and mighty works that you do? Deuteronomy 3:24.
Oh, that was so good.
Wasn't it? The love that surpasses knowledge. I want the knowledge of love that is unknowable.
Yeah. I like being comfortable with not knowing. It's usually hard for me to not know.
Well, no, you want it to be beyond your knowing.
Yeah. On the possibility of knowledge. Even the smartest man on earth can't know.
Can't know.
That's pretty cool.
Isn't it?
It's like a Christmas gift.
It is.
Open.
Repeatedly, every day.
Yeah. I got to ask you something.
Yes.
You've shared, so I'm not sharing anything that you don't want me to share, but you've shared that in your time in DC, that you said that people would have said that you weren't that easy to work for. You shared that.
Yes.
Okay, good.
What are you talking about? I was an angel.
And then in some ways you were a little bit mean.
I was mean.
Okay. So in that time, to you, was that pleasurable?
It was a means to an end.
But there was no pleasure necessarily from doing it. So now that Jesus
I didn't have guilt.
That Jesus has brought you to this other place that has reduced the meanness a bunch greatly.
Still work in progress. That's where you're going with this. Yes, I know I'm a work in progress. It's not all gone.
No.
Come on now.
But I see moments where I kind of like wait, and then you come out with just this light and angelic voice and words that I know in the past would not have been there.
Yes.
Is there more colors that you see? I mean, I just want to know. I mean, because I get these pictures for me of that time was kind of that. What's that color that's not black and white, but it's like it's brownish. You know that sepia.
Oh.
So my old life is in sepia or sepia, whatever you pronounce it. But this life now is in Technicolor.
Technicolor.
And it's beautiful.
Yes.
Is there any? Do you get that same, or is that a man thing? That
the
visual?
color?
Yeah, like that. You just isn't it? Does life seem to be just brighter and lighter and more colorful with this aspect of your life?
I don't know if it's color. I don't, because remember also, yes, you are very visual, right? So
Yep.
you notice the flowers, the plants. I am not a very visual person.
Hmm.
So it doesn't affect me in that way. What is more profound to me is how I feel internally. So my spirit gets happy. Like my spirit feels lighter. Everything is easier. Things get resolved. And I can almost feel when I overcome an obstacle or I get through something, and especially even if I pray about it, that the Lord looks down at me and goes, "Good job, daughter." Like, like it was like, it's a tense moment. And so it's all happening internally. It's not something I see.
For me, I feel like much of that life was living like multiple lives,
Right.
and living
As if
lies.
some of them are other people's.
Yeah, living lies. Because, I wanted to put on this persona that everything was fantastic, that my marriage was fantastic, that the other marriage, that the business was perfect, that there was no problems whatsoever.
And I mentioned this before on the broadcast. Even
Yeah.
when we first met, you were kind of like that.
Yeah, it just felt like everything's fantastic.
Everything's fantastic. I was like, in the past, that was all fantastic too. These wives were a little crazy, but other than that, everything was fantastic.
And now and those of you that have one foot in Christianity and one foot in something else, is that make the jump, because it just clears for me. It makes every day so much easier.
Aww.
So much more relaxed. I am relaxed in many ways just because of being with God.
Yes.
Like every day. Because I don't have to wake up to, okay, who am I going to see? What face do I have to put on? What mask do I have to wear? Because I got like
what do I have to cover?
I got like 10 masks that I had to put on. Like, what story did I tell that person?
That I totally
It's like crazy.
Because remember also, I was a secret wife.
Oh.
So a secret mistress, like it wasn't a legal marriage. It was in Islam, multiple wife situation. But so I had a different narrative.
Every time you say that, I just go, I don't believe it. But go ahead.
I had a different narrative for every chapter of my life. I had a different narrative for people I worked with. I had a different narrative for family, because remember, my family didn't know. Most of my family members did not know. And so I had a different narrative that fit them. And then I had work people. And then I had my close friends who did know who I was committed to. And sometimes my daughter was stuck in between the three of those scenarios. It was very, very difficult.
Yeah. Life is so much easier living as a Christian.
It was very, very difficult.
So I'm getting ready. I'm sorry, I didn't fix it. That's why I'm showing my name. So those of you that were watching, it's not just me. Actually, Hedy is here too.
Yeah, look at that. Fantastic.
Comments. We had quite a few comments. Let's see what we had.
We left off on, yes. It is amazing when God shows you the unknowable as you walk through life. So true.
But isn't it interesting that I never would have known that it could be this wonderful? Like, I thought that's just how you live life. Like, there was no concept of, even as much as people told me about God, and I read about God, and I was walking into church and in and out of churches every Sunday, and even on Fridays and Thursdays,
right,
on an occasional Wednesday, that I still thought that's the way you live life.
Right.
That you go in there and you get cleaned or cleansed, and that was going to be good for the rest of the week. And I had to come back. It was like a car wash.
Yeah.
And I would be four-wheel driving.
Very Catholic.
Be four-wheel driving, Monday through Saturday, and then have to go to the car wash on Sunday.
Who do you think teaches that? Where does that come from?
Probably Catholicism.
Right?
I think so.
Okay.
You just have to go into that little room with that odd man on the other side.
The car wash.
Yeah. Then go to the car wash. But I just would have never, if I just somehow would have been put into like a, what are the glasses? The AR?
AI?
Yeah, but it's
virtual reality.
Virtual reality, VR.
VR.
If I just would have had somebody here, this is what it would look like as a real Christian when you're born again. This is what it's going to be like. Here, put these VRs on.
That wouldn't be.
Oh shoot, I want that. Because I'm so relaxed. I don't have anything to hide. You can look at my phone. You can look at my computer. You can look at my emails. You can look at everything. There's nothing to hide.
Yeah, it's a glorious feeling.
Oh my gosh. It is so weird. But if somebody would showed me, but I didn't, when you don't know, and I think that's the beauty of God. God's going, hey,
exactly.
You know, I tried to tell the Israelites for years. I tried to tell the Jews for years.
With me is much better than without me.
But nobody listens. They can't grab the concept of living in a place of love constantly,
Yeah.
of forgiveness.
Same with kids, friends,
Yeah.
relatives. Try to tell them the same thing.
Wow. So crazy. All right. Let's go to the next one. Lisa says.
So wait.
Oh, sorry. Did I skip one?
Yes. Carrie, it feels like Christmas morning every day when I was very little. Yeah, it's so cool. Carrie says, there's that feeling of victory step by step, Hedia. Yes. And I know you can appreciate that, Carrie. It's just and that's the analogy to the mountain, right? Is that you're climbing, and then you just hit this, I don't know, this plateau or this beautiful valley where there's a creek and then there's the waterfall, and you're just kind of like, oh, man, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
God is so majestic and so beautiful. And then you just go to another valley and start climbing again, and then go up another mountaintop until you reach another peak. So it's very cool. Lisa says, my job is to take care of the possible and to trust God with the impossible. That's a nice quote. Ruth Graham. And Lisa agrees that it's Catholicism that did that, because the priests and the bishops and the popes got between us and God. And when you're born again, there's nothing between you and God.
You know, it comes along with that. And, you know, this is a pet peeve of mine with the kids. And that is the reason you live life sometimes is you care too much about what other people think.
Yes.
And I love not caring what people think. I mean, it was that weird thing, because I do feel like I didn't care then what people thought, but then I also cared what people thought.
Yes.
My image.
Yes.
Right.
The
image I wanted. Right. But it's also just frustrating that these kids, because of social media, worry about their what they look like, you know, what they're doing. And there's some oddness to, you know, the thing I always go, why do you guys always make a face when you do these things? Well, that's what we do. But it's like, now you have to, what I don't understand.
Well, life starts to mimic, what is it? The reality? Reality starts to mimic virtual reality. There's an expression, imitating art. Yeah. Life imitates art.
Yeah.
Where their regular expressions are imitating their artistic expressions. Actually, I got to relate a funny story.
That's a good one.
Are you done with the Zara and the Runner?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So my Andy repeatedly has little wise sayings that he gives kids. Actually, we both do.
Yes.
But this one came from Andy, and it was like, "Do not stare at your phones while you're walking, because you're gonna trip on something. You're not paying attention. Stop staring at your phones."
You look like a doofus.
You look like an idiot. And so Ray stopped looking at her phone, but Zara didn't. And so I was just like, Zara, stop looking at your phone. And I think she stopped for 30 seconds, and then she went back down looking at it. And this runner, not even on a bicycle, bro, he's a runner, and he smashes into my daughter. I laughed my head off, I gotta tell you. And it was like, and then as soon as she thought I would be like, it was so startled. And I was like, yeah, see, if you have your head in your phone, that's exactly what happens.
I think the guy did it on purpose. That's my theory.
Yeah,
because there's no way he could have missed it.
Yeah, because he was alert.
Everybody gets irritated by people looking at their phone. Like when you're waiting at a sidewalk and light turns green and there's people crossing looking at their phone.
Right.
Like, walk across the sidewalk. Stop looking at your phone.
Right.
Oh, it's crazy. So I think there was a little bit of purposefulness in that guy's actions.
It worked. There was no sparing the head of the phone the rest of the time.
What do we got? I think it's Lisa. No, next one down. Yeah, yes, Hedia was
Oh, yes. I raised my kids telling them you can't worry about what anybody thinks except the people that you respect.
Yes. Well, Jesus. Right, that's one because I worry about what he thinks.
Yes.
And then you next.
Thank you. It's a Hedia story. Yay! Thank you.
Oh no, I got to get busy creating those intros into our stories.
Yes. Emojis.
All right. So those of you that joined us a little bit late, what we're doing is yesterday's devotional because we really liked it, and now I remember my story.
Yes,
about
that was
the
important.
And so for our podcast and for the Real Life Network, we wanted to do yesterday's. And then later on this evening, we will come back into tonight's, which is the 26th, so that we can get two of them in.
Amen.
We had a little difficulty just with fitting it in with all the shenanigans.
Yeah, because also the timing is late.
And the timing's different. We missed it yesterday because we thought we could fit it in, but before we knew it, it was 7 o'clock.
1,225 turns.
Yeah, I did that while everybody else slept. Brake, gas, turns, thousands of motions I had to do. And the other 3 people in the car slept the entire time.
Tried to, at least.
Oh, and then they grumbled that we weren't getting home fast enough. I said, "What? You guys, you've been sleeping the whole time. I mean, you maybe spent 10 minutes on this trip with your eyes open."
It is pretty funny that you're traveling with 3 women.
Oh yeah, they go, "Why are we home yet?" What? Wait, in your mind, we just left. I've been on this tour for 5 hours.
And then they said they were tired.
Oh, and then they were tired. Like,
I just catnapped for 30 minutes.
How can you be tired? It's such jocularity.
Yes. Teenagers.
I just have a whole different view of life, apparently.
Yes. Almost like a military man. Like it's just a cop thing.
You get up early in the morning because you're gonna miss out on life.
Yeah, but that's your theory. That's you do you, boo.
What?
Some people really cherish good sleep. It's really good for you.
No,
good
it's
long
bad.
sleep. No, it's not.
It's horrible for you.
Oh my God, there's every medical
8 hours, not 14 hours
of
sleep.
Any medical journal you read, at least 8 or 9 hours.
I said 8 hours.
Yeah, but we're not even on 8 hours.
Yesterday, for some of them, it might have been like 14 hours of sleep.
No, they're growing, and the pediatricians will tell you at their age they should get at least 12 hours.
I never did.
But
Look at me.
You just finished explaining to everybody that the beginning of your life was like Mad Max, and you're telling them that that's the point of reference?
Well, I got more sleep when I was hungover.
Oh.
There was a lot of sleep going on.
Oh, okay.
Barely got out of the hotel room. All right, what's next?
Carrie says, some like slowing down, others can't, Andy.
No, dale.
Yes.
Carrie, I thought you were my friend.
Yeah, some people just can't slow down.
I already saw the ocean and the beautiful waves and listened to the birds chirping. 2 or 3 birds come and visit me on my table while I was sitting there looking at the view.
I'm so happy for you. I think that's awesome.
I got the opportunity to share Jesus with about 10 people.
Did you?
The opportunity, I didn't, but I had the opportunity to share Jesus with 10 people.
That's funny.
All right, anything else, Snook?
I think we got it.
All right.
Got to go plan the day now.
We use all our stuff up for the day, or do you think we have something for tonight?
I don't know. We may have told all of our stories.
Okay.
But tomorrow we'll be back in time to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, we might be able to do that. All right, my friends.
We love you.
We love you. God bless.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.